The perfect meal to ring in the new year, a delicious steak dinner for two or a crowd. Ed Brown is a chef and innovator for Restaurant Associates. Ed, thanks for being here. It smells great in here. Good morning to you. Where do you want to begin? I mean, it is all about the meat here.
It's all about the meat. So this is a prime, dry-aged Creekstone farm steak from our favorite purveyor, Pat. And it's really about what can we least do to mess it up.
Give me just a second on the dry-aged part. Is that something that's readily available for people when they go out, or do you have to ask the butcher, hey, I need something that's been sitting back there for a while?
No, you can find it. And so dry-aged means that some of the moisture has evaporated, the protein gets denser, meat becomes more tender, more flavorful.
I get this dry-aged meat the night before I'm going to cook. I leave it in the fridge uncovered and let it dry out more?
Exactly. I want it to be dry so that I get a nice sear on it.
Okay.
So just going to put some salt.
So less is more here. Let the meat be the star.
Exactly. Plenty of salt.
All the way around
freshly ground pepper.
Okay.
I've got just a pinch of oil in the pan.
Okay.
And I'm going to put it right on this fat side in the pan.
Fat
you can
side
put the
down.
pepper.
Okay. So talking about this pan frying, searing part versus just grilling, fundamentally what's different? Is
so
this a better
I like to pan sear because I like to get the crusting on my steak more than grilling where the fat drips through. The fat is flavor, so I don't really want to render out that much fat. I'm rendering a little bit from the top. That's going to get us started, and then we're going to go to one side.
So that fat cap on the bottom provides some of the fat, so when you turn it, that's going to help you get some crust.
Exactly. Then we sear it on one side. We'll move along. We can just turn it over.
Yep. How long is the searing? Is it about 2 minutes? You just wait for that?
About 2.5, 3 minutes. You're looking for that kind of nice crusting.
So you're spending just a little less than 10 minutes here doing some searing work before you end up, I guess, baking it off.
Exactly. And then it's going to go onto the sheet pan, and we'll go into the oven.
I mean, the hardest part here is just trying to get the temperature right in the middle. What's the thoughts on that? So what's the way we should eat it? Medium, medium rare?
So I like it medium rare, medium rare, and about 12, 15 minutes in the oven. But then the most important part is going to be resting. Let that meat rest. It's going to be so much better, and the juices will stay inside instead of rushing out.
Every time I let the meat rest, then when I go to serve it, like to tamarind, it ends up being almost cold. How can you keep it warm?
But you know, I don't need to eat my steak blasting hot. I think warm-ish is fine, but the meat is juicy and tender.
I'm almost done.
It looks perfect.
It's just perfection.
All right. So you got the searing off, then you'll bake it for 12 to 15 minutes, whatever it is.
Right, at about 375
Let it rest for a good 10 minutes.
Right.
And then cut it up. Okay.
Great. Acorn squash. Split it, take the seeds out.
Yep.
We cut these quarters like this, or sixes, depending on the size of your squash.
Okay.
Into the bowl, we've got skin stays on. We've got syrup. A little bit of oil.
Okay.
Cinnamon, clove.
How did you come up with the acorn squash as a good pairing for steak?
Just because I think, you know, it's a hearty sort of this time of the year flavor. These are meaty also. So these just get tossed with all these ingredients. We put them on the baking sheet.
Okay. Syrup and olive oil.
Syrup, olive oil, spices.
And the spices, yep.
We put a little dot of butter on each one.
Okay, that always helps.
It sure does. And some water right on the baking tray.
Why the water?
So that they don't stick to the tray and that they don't burn. It also creates a little steam while they're cooking.
Okay.
Some flake salt right on top. That'll give you sort of that.
These are pretty firm. Or do they soften up in the cooking process?
They cook actually quite rapidly.
Okay.
So those will just go in the oven.
How long?
They're going to be about 15 to 20 minutes.
Get out of the way. Okay. Ooh, wine. Ed, you shouldn't have. So glad you did.
Listen, how about mine?
Here you go. This is for you.
And this is delicious. The acorn squash is so flavorful. It's sweet and it's just perfect.
Here's my favorite part is when you get to slice the steak.
Yeah, I love this part too. Is there any particular part slicing the grain and all that, or just go ahead and
cutting across?
So you cooked it, you let it sit, is the most important part.
See, the juices are not running all over the table.
They've stayed inside.
They've stayed inside the steak. And
then just a little salt.
And you want a salt, and you want a piece with some fat on it. That's what tastes good.
Wow, that's delicious.
To go with it, we've got some Tuscan kale, just cooked with garlic and chilies. We've got an assortment of wild mushrooms sautéed with shallots.
That's unbelievable.
Is that sacred?
So
it's crazy. It's so good.
And of course, red wine.
Cheers, Ed.
What
this is
a lovely
amazing.
presentation.
You'll
Ed,
win
thank you
over
so
new
much.
friends with this for the new year.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
By the way, is this a super fancy piece of meat? Is that why it's so good? Or can we make our regular meat taste this good?
You can make your regular meat taste this good.
We're going to follow your instructions and do that. Ed Brown, everybody, thank you so much. And you can find all these recipes and more at today.com/food. We're back in a moment.